Hi, this is Brent with Reach Medical. I wanted to give you some tips on how to use a vacuum device. All vacuum devices are used really in the same way. They all operate on the same principle from a vacuum system with a tension band. And I thought I'd go through this a little more with you today to give you maybe some extra tips or things that'll help you along the way. And through my 25 years of experience in the industry, I've learned some things that I'd like to pass on to you that's normally not in the instruction manual. So when I like to set the device up, and this would be using a device with standard lubricant, the first thing you want to do is load your band onto your cylinder. And one of the most important things is that you use a lubricant when you use a system that requires lubricant, because that lubricant helps you get a seal and helps everything slide easy. And you don't want to use an oil-based or a Vaseline type petroleum product. You always want to use a water-soluble lubricant like Aquagel that we have here. So to load the band, usually you'll have some device to help you apply the band onto the cylinder. We're calling this a loading cone. We're going to put it in the end of the cylinder. It won't fit in the wrong side, okay? And then what you would do is take some of your lubricant and put it around the top of your cone as such to help lubricate this band as you transfer it onto the end of the cylinder, because that's where the band needs to be before you transfer it onto the base of the penis to maintain the erection. So what you do is you just take your band. It's easy for me to put this on a solid surface and take the band and go over the top and rub it into that lubricant very well several times to get it good and slick, okay? At that point, you'll pull and stretch the band down onto the end of the cylinder as such, and then you would remove the cone because you have no longer any use for that during this time. Then you would go to attach your pump, whatever type you're using, manual or battery, on the other side. And then you would have some sizing issues you can deal with. These are generally made to be one size fits all. We do have larger cylinders that are a little longer, maybe a little more in diameter if you're required. The key to remember to this is sized to an erect penis. You don't want to think of it sized to a flaccid because then you might run into trouble with being restricted with a too small of a diameter. You always want to have a little extra room in the erect state between the cylinder and the penis. So some people use it just like this, and they'll put some lubricant on here to seal it. Or if you want to narrow it down a little bit, you can put a bushing in, and we call it a sizing adapter, and that narrows it down and gives you a little flatter surface to work with to help you get a seal against the body. You can take that out and even go a little bit tighter. But the key to remember is, once you get a good erection, you still need to have a little extra room between the penis and the end of this, so you have plenty of room to expand. If you don't, it will restrict you. At this point, you're ready to go. You'll want to take some lubricant, kind of like toothpaste on the toothbrush, and put a bead around the end of the cylinder. That's to help you get a good seal against the body. It's very important to get the seal, or the device will not work if you don't get a good vacuum seal. You put some lubricant inside, and where this goes over the penis, a lot of gentlemen might have a lot of hair in the way here, as you can imagine, and it's good to trim that hair back. The less hair there where the cylinder meets the body, the better. It just makes it much easier to get a seal, much easier to work with the device. Once you do that, you're ready to go. I also recommend that you stand up when you use the device. It kind of opens your hips up and helps with your blood flow. So you put the device on the penis and create your vacuum and start pumping. But the key is you get that seal. And if you get a good seal, that's going to grab and hold just like that. And that's what you want. That's what's got to happen. Once you get a good seal, at that point, it's really all done by feel. You keep pumping till you take as much pressure as you can tolerate without pain, okay? All devices have a pressure relief on them. If you feel discomfort and you feel like you pump too much, like this one, you just hit your button and that will release the pressure, and then you can start over and try again. But my experience with the patients that I've worked with through the years, what I always teach is take as much pressure as you can tolerate and stop. Let that vacuum hold on you for 15, 20 seconds to give extra time for some little extra blood flow in there to get it good and firm where you want it. If it doesn't come out the way you want to the first time, release it, start over. Sometimes the act of just going back and forth and letting more blood flow come in and out will improve your erection in the short term. But once you've decided, and you'll know by feel that you've gone as far as you can go, you've got a good erection in that cylinder, that's when you want to transfer the band. And that's where you reach down, and usually this is up against you, and you want to slide the band very quickly against you. A key point here is do not pull away with the pump. Keep the pump firmly against you. You want to minimize any pressure loss. Pressure loss means a loss of the erection. So if you keep it held up firm against you and just quickly slide that band, this will release the act of the band transferring onto the base. It's going to break that seal. It's going to release on its own. If it doesn't, just hit your release button. And then that's what you're left with, is that band onto the base of the penis. Now, this is a tourniquet. The purpose of this is to close the veins down to keep the venous leak from happening. So there's different size bands and kits. Keep working with the bands through a trial and error process till you find a band that holds the erection. You may originally start with a larger band and come out of the system and it's holding fine, and then you start activity and you find the erection goes down on you. That tells you you need to go down to a tighter band. So don't get frustrated. Just keep trying bands till you get to the one that holds you during intercourse. And if you have any questions about bands, you can call us at any time. We have a trained staff here that has experience with working with these bands, so we can often give you other ideas or a different band to try that help you accomplish your goal. The key to remember here is never wear the band over a half an hour at a time. It is a tourniquet. You have to take it off. You put these got tabs that you put your fingers in to stretch and release and put down. They are reusable. They do stretch out over time, but never wear them over 30 minutes at a time. You can wait an hour or so and wear it again, but never over 30 minutes at a time. So I hope this helps. Practice makes perfect, and patience and persistence. Have a good day. Call us if you have any questions.